Hi, everyone, and thank you for coming for our new webinar about digital twins, OpenAI, and Microsoft, a game-changing combination for the supply chain management. Today with me is Juan Pablo Villegas, who is the Principal Program Manager at Supply Chain Center at Microsoft, and also my colleague, John Gutierrez, who is our Business Development Director, and they will be speaking about how these technologies and these new improvements are going to transform the supply chain industry. So, John, it's all yours.
Thank you so much, Leah. Thank you, Juan Pablo, as well, for joining us on this webinar. Let me start the presentation. Okay, so we're going to talk about supply chain and the technology surrounding the supply chain. I think it's actually a really interesting sector where the application of technology can make a huge impact. You know, we're all used to now, you know, even our Amazon packages know, you know, I know when the man is coming up my road to deliver it. So everything is now super connected. The only way that we can do that is through technologies. And here we're going to just talk about some of the different technologies that are transforming the industry. And I want to sort of start with the business intelligence and data analytics. And data really is the fuel that's going to power a lot of the supply chain information. It's going to fuel the AI, and without the data, well, you know, there's not really very much that we can see. The edge computing as well allows us to process information very, very quickly without sending it to the cloud. So this is something that's really important as well for factories that generate a lot of data very, very quickly. And of course, IoT. And I do want to add there as well, obviously, it is kind of like a perfect storm at the moment in terms of technology. We have cloud computing, we have very fast broadband, 5G now, and IoT. IoT allows us to send information, you know, billions of pieces of information to the cloud for processing. Digital twins is something, another technology that's having a huge impact. It allows us to test models and see what production in our factory could be. It allows us to create simulations, and digital twins are now used before factories are built. And obviously extended realities has a great use cases in there as well, in terms of obviously training users in the factory using you know, Microsoft guides or the remote assist in order to you know, even to fix equipment. But there's one technology I think that's very, very disruptive and everybody's talking about, we cannot ignore. So I just want to talk about it briefly. And of course, it's the AI. OpenAI. I know we're going to talk about this a little bit more. We're going to see it in action. But what I wanted to really talk about is the fact that with the Microsoft, with the Azure OpenAI, you know, you're deploying the OpenAI services on your own subscription, so you're keeping your data very, very secure. You're able to access only the data by you. You can use the large pre-trained models, or we can use the fine-tuned models as well, so that the AI can start to learn about your own company, your own business, and you can use the data within there. And I just wanted to talk about the top four capabilities very quickly. So obviously content generation, we've all seen how amazing OpenAI and ChatGPT is to create content. We can use that to automatically generate responses to customer inquiries or generate content for website or social media. Summarization, one of the most powerful features of OpenAI, in my opinion. We can take call center transcripts and we can summarize them. We can find out the reason for any contact, and also it has a very, very powerful sentiment analysis, so we can understand how people are talking to us and the tone of the people. We can use the code generation to define workflows, And another great feature that I really love is the fact that you can use natural language to query your own data. So imagine connecting this to your own SQL database and then using natural language to actually use that. For the marketing department, that opens up huge possibilities for segmenting data just using natural language. And the semantic search, very, very powerful, very, very quick, getting away from the old tagging way of searching. The information discovery, your knowledge mining, you can access the data much, much quicker, and again, using natural language. So I think OpenAI is going to revolutionize all the industry, but certainly the supply chain as well. And as an example here, I just wanted to show you, here is, this is to do with a call center for an insurance company, but you can apply it to kind of any industry. And here we can see the transcript of the call. Obviously, the call center agent has gone through the call in a script format, and then using OpenAI, we're able to use it again, natural language, extract things like the main reason for the conversation, the sentiment of the customer. So we can actually understand to see if the customer is, what's the tone? Are they speaking to us? Are they angry? Are they happy? In this case, they're a little bit shaken up. So you can really take a summarization of this whole conversation and just extract the key information. And as another example here, we have just asked for the summarization, but we've actually asked us to give it to us in a JSON format, which means that very, very quickly you can give this to your IT department and you can create a very, very quick interface into your CRM system. So you can go from a call straight into your CRM system very, very easily. I think this is a very powerful tool, and I'm sure we'll be seeing lots of use cases coming out as the OpenAI matures. So let's get back to our supply chain. And here I'm showing a complete supply chain for a company. Here we can see all of the different nodes, everything from the factory to the distribution centers to the actual retails, and also the transportation. So how was this the supplies getting to the different centers? It can either be by sea, by plane, by truck. And I just wanted to show you how, when you connect everything together in your supply chain, how powerful that can be with this next example. So let's have a listen.
Let's check in on our first driver, who seems to be experiencing a traffic problem. Here we see a unified intelligent application view between what the fleet sees and what the organizational app sees. In this case, the driver is provided with options to text and call other drivers or the office for a quick check-in. Now let's look at another truck. This driver has a wildfire on the route to their destination, so a new route is being recommended. Click here and we can see the driver's position on its updated route. Now let's look at our last trucking problem. Diving into our diagnostic panel, we can see that this truck seems to have a cooling problem that could damage the product. Let's call the driver to come up with a solution.
So there you have an example of when everything is connected in your supply chain, how powerful and the insights that you can get from it. So in this example, well, it detected a problem. So obviously using the data, there's anomaly detection as well that can be applied. But also you can use this with, weather forecasts, with traffic updates. So if you have any shipping that you might need to reroute due to adverse weather conditions, or maybe there's been an accident, then obviously using this hyper-connected supply chain, you have full control of all of the logistics part. So let's go back to our supply chain, and we have a little video here, so I'll just take you through. On all of the different nodes, you can click on them and you can get more information. So here we're actually seeing the different factories. So we have a factory. And here we have one of the shipping routes. Again, we can collect all the data from the IoT sensor to do with temperature, vibration, the location, so we know exactly where it is. And here we can see, for example, that we've just received a message that we have one of the materials at fault. So again, everything is super connected and all come through this main dashboard. And here we can see the retail with all of the different orders as well. And you can see that this particular order, you can see the whole route that is taken throughout the supply chain. And we can see the shipment, when it's due to arrive, etc. So you can get a complete picture of the whole supply chain. Okay. Here we're going to now have a look at the factory. And now what we're going to go into is our digital twin model. So this digital twin is a digital representation of the factory. We can see all of the orders. We can have a look at one particular line and see all the statistics to do with the line. So we can see how it's performing, what its output is, and all the key metrics that you might need. And also we can see an impact report. So we can say, okay, for this supply chain, for this particular order, which is the route that it's taking, I can come here, have a look at the actual retail. These are all the orders, the different orders, the financial impact as well. If something should happen to that line, what is my financial impact? So these are all the three. They have 3 impacted orders with a monetary fan. And then what we can do is we can do a simulation. This is where the digital twin is really powerful, because we have now simulated what happens if that particular line in the factory stops working. So the factory is no longer able to fulfill the order, and we can then see, let me just go back to where it is. We can actually see which other factories would be able to fulfill that order should we have that adverse impact on the production line. And then obviously where we start to get into, okay, maybe we need to use extended reality to try to fix the machinery, where instead of having to fly a technician, someone could, put in the Microsoft HoloLens, and we could use the remote assist to help them to fix it. But the great thing is you can use this to simulate as well. So you can see what the impact is, and you can see what other factories could meet the demand should it need to. And also, let's just imagine that we get a big order, the possibility of a big order coming through. I can use the digital twin model in order to simulate, if I need to create another, in this case, another 100,000 t-shirt, I need to increase the capacity. What does that mean? And we can use the digital twin to really run all those simulations. And so the last example, just as we're bragging and we love to innovate, we've actually created the digital twin in the metaverse of no other places. So here we have the representation of the factory in the metaverse. This is obviously a desktop version. If you use the glasses, you get a very different experience, a much more realistic experience. But as you can see all of the factory, all of the key metrics. And the main reason we do this is obviously it doesn't, to break down physical barriers. It doesn't matter where you are in the world. You can all meet in the factory. You can discuss, the factory expansion, or you can look at any issues that you have. You can resolve them in a much more collaborative and immersive way. So we think the metaverse is something that will continue to mature, and we will see that this will have a really positive impact, certainly in the future, for supply chain. So with that, that completes my presentation. So I now hand over to Juan Pablo, who's going to take us through the Microsoft supply chain platform. So over to you, Juan Pablo.
Okay, thank you very much, John. And hello, everyone. I am Juan Pablo Villegas. I am part of Microsoft Supply Chain Center team, and today I want to talk to you about supply chain resiliency and how Microsoft can help your business gain that resiliency through Microsoft Supply Chain Platform and Microsoft Supply Chain Center. So when we talk to our customers about the challenges that they were facing with their supply chains, they all had similar answers. They all wanted to gain supply chain resiliency. They wanted to get more visibility of their own data and the data that was coming from their suppliers. They wanted to drive cost optimization while keeping their customers happy, improve how their workers do their day-to-day jobs, and automating repetitive tasks. Learn early about potential disruptions so that they could react in a timely manner. And of course, whatever solution they were going to implement, they need to make sure that this is going to be sustainable to be able to keep meeting the expectations of their customers. And today, more than ever, building resiliency into supply chains is top of mind for every single company because it positively impacts their top and their bottom line. So the push to modernize and connect existing ecosystems enables companies to build supply chain resiliency, to collaborate with their suppliers, to collaborate with vendors, with partners. However, if we think about different industries, most supply chains are disconnected. The different participants of a supply chain are at different stages in their digital transformation. So it is very difficult to break silos and bring all data together to be able to have end-to-end visibility of a supply chain. And the lack of that data sharing results in poor decision making, or having to make decisions with just some pieces of information, or having to be too reactive when a disruption comes up. So we wanted to be able to enable companies to be more proactive and be able to respond in a more timely manner to any disruptions they may face. So to respond to those needs from our customers, that's why we announced Supply Chain Platform. This was announced in November. And what it brings together is many of the Microsoft technologies that you may already be familiar with. So for example, for low code, we are bringing Power Apps and Power Automate. For analytics, we're bringing all the power of Azure Synapse and Power BI. We have all the Microsoft security of our products. And for productivity, we have the suite of Microsoft 365 products and teams. And the newest addition to this family of products is Microsoft Supply Chain Center, which has been in public preview since November. So I'm going to spend the rest of the time talking about Supply Chain Center. The premise on which we built Supply Chain Center was how can we help customers build more resilient supply chains by making more out of their existing systems. So this is not about rip and replace what customers already have. We were thinking, how can we break data silos from those systems? How can we bring data from external parties? How can we bring everything together to build a real command center so that customers, along with the data that is coming from their suppliers and news outlet, can build more resiliency and truly understand what's the state of their supply chain. If we think about the way that customers usually integrate their solutions, we see that they need to make integrations between each of the different apps that they use to manage their supply chain. But with our common data model, what we're making possible is to be able to integrate different solutions that customers already have by using the Dataverse as the central place where it is easier to integrate data and share that data between applications so that they can talk to each other. With Supply Chain Center, we wanted to build a solution that was ERP agnostic. So no matter what's the current systems that the customers have, we will be able to implement Supply Chain Center on top of it. It all starts with data, the data that is coming from existing systems, from suppliers, from news outlets, and it all is coming into Dataverse, which is the underlying platform in which we have built Supply Chain Center. To meet the different demands of our customers, we have made it in a modular manner. That means that according to the challenges of each particular customer or each particular industry, they will be able to select the modules that make more sense for them. Right now, we have supply and demand insights, order management, which is for order orchestration, no matter what sales channels a company is using to sell to their customers. Order orchestration through intelligent order management is able to pull all the order together and make sure those are fulfilled in the most efficient manner, so that we're taking into account the costs of fulfillment and also the impact that the route will have in the customer's satisfaction. So putting the right place into the hands of the customer on hand. We also have the Smart News module, which alerts customers about potential news that may impact their supply chains. And Data Manager, where we bring all the data from different systems together. In addition to that, we are making this solution extensible. So we're connecting to third-party solutions, to ISV solutions. We don't want to reinvent the wheel. So if there's already an ISV solution that is best in class for a particular scenario, Maxwell does not want to build that module. We will work with that ISV to integrate that module into Supply Chain Center. But now let's see how this all works.
Supply chains are complex, very complex. To stay agile, global organizations need end-to-end visibility without replacing existing systems, actionable insights from real-time data, and seamless orchestration of business processes through one unifying platform. Introducing Microsoft Supply Chain Center, now in public preview. Let's dive in and see how it works. Meet Sanjana, a supply chain manager at Contoso, a global manufacturer and distributor of packaged coffee. She receives an alert on her Supply Chain Center dashboard powered by the news module about a cyber attack that could impact her suppliers and disrupt her shipments. Diving deeper, she can see actionable insights like which orders from what suppliers could be impacted and the severity of the impact. Supply Chain Center also provides her with recommendations powered by AI to mitigate the disruptions. Sanjana acts on the recommendation to prioritize orders for her large customer accounts. She sees that by selecting this recommendation, she can meet a higher service level, but it does come at a higher cost. With just a click, she can send purchase orders to her suppliers from right within the Supply Chain Center, powered by Power Automate. She doesn't need to jump between different systems to manually update the POs, saving her time to focus elsewhere. Sanjana receives updates of production plans from her suppliers periodically and securely via the supplier portal. The Supply Chain Center uses this and the other data points to provide insights into potential stockouts, overstocking, and many more metrics in near real time. Melanie, the Northwind Roasters account manager, a coffee bean supplier for Contoso, uses the supplier portal to upload her production plan. After receiving it, Sanjana notices a massive supply coverage gap on her Supply and Demand Insights dashboard. So Sanjana quickly investigates in the Supply Coverage Module dashboard. From right in the dashboard, Sanjana can reach out to Melanie via the embedded Microsoft Teams chat to see if she has additional inventory on hand to bridge the supply gap. Melanie confirms that she has available inventory in excess and can expedite an order for the SKU that's falling short. This ability to collaborate with external suppliers in near real time using Teams and in the context of the insights is a game changer for Sanjana and Melanie. They're twice as productive now without dealing with delayed email replies and missed voicemails. After Sanjana places her order with Melanie, she tracks the shipment via C.H. Robinson's Navisphere Vision right inside the supply chain center. 2 days later, Sanjana sees an alert via Navisphere Vision that a Contoso truck transporting coffee from Northwind Roasters has been delayed due to a breakdown. This will cause a 4-day delay in the delivery to Contoso's warehouse. Because of the alert, she notifies the receiving warehouse of the delay and generates a new freight order from a different supplier. The new freight order is assigned to a carrier that can deliver on the originally requested delivery date, avoiding a potential major stockout. Once the shipment arrives, Sanjana uses the order management module to fulfill the order to her high-priority accounts, like Fabricam. Sanjana uses the out-of-the-box connector to FedEx and sets up FedEx as a shipping carrier to deliver the order to her customers. Plus, she gains fulfillment insights so that she can continue to optimize the delivery to her customers efficiently, cost-effectively, and sustainably. With Microsoft Supply Chain Center, Sanjana can take complete control of her supply chain and deliver a delightful customer experience. She can get end-to-end visibility of her supply chain, generate AI-based recommendations, and orchestrate business processes to act on these recommendations seamlessly, all without having to replace her existing systems. Microsoft Supply Chain Center enables her to do more with less. Sign up for a free trial at aka.ms/supplychaincenter.
Okay, so we just saw how Supply Chain Center can enable you to create a connected ecosystem with your existing systems and those of your suppliers and partners. We provide enhanced visibility of the health of your supply chain with out-of-the-box analytics, and these are seen in the Supply and Demand Insights module. This will allow you to predict disruptions, act quickly, and mitigate the impact that those disruptions can have in your business. And all of this is through AI-generated KPIs, and also through AI-generated smart news, which goes to big news, look for supply chain management news that may impact your suppliers, and gives you an alert so that you can take actions to mitigate the impact of those news. We now also offer customizable analytics that are built on top of the data that has been brought from different systems into Supply Chain Center, so that you can truly break data silos. But let me tell you about the most recent additions to our product, which were released just a couple of weeks ago. All of these came as a result of the feedback that we have received from our early adopter customers. So as you saw in the video, we have the news module, where there's a news feed where people, the users, can review the news that are related to their supply chain constituents. So what they do is that they upload their list of vendors, and the system will look for news that may be impacting those vendors. Now we enable users to create their own topics so that they can find relevant news that are more meaningful for their business. So in this example, we see that the user is creating a new topic which name is ketchup, and he's saying, okay, I want to get alerted when certain conditions are met. So it says, okay, if the commodity is tomato, the location is in California, and if there's anything happening with either my Contoso or my Fabricam vendor, I want to get an alert. That user will save that topic, and that topic will show up in the left-hand navigation bar, and they will be able to quickly go to the topic to see the news that have been generated by that topic. They could edit that topic, they could delete it, or they could add many more topics. Additionally, we heard from customers that once they identify a news that may have an impact on one of their suppliers, that may impact some open POs, the first thing they want to do is to reach out to those suppliers. Usually they do that via email or via phone conversations. And of course, that is time consuming. So to minimize the time that supply chain professionals invest in drafting those communications to their suppliers, we are leveraging generative AI to draft email messages that can be sent easily to those suppliers. So let me show you how that works.
Dahlia is a supply chain planner at Kraft Heinz Company. One of their biggest challenges is keeping up with demand in the face of unexpected supply chain disruptions. Copilot in Microsoft Supply Chain Center, which is available to Dynamics 365 supply chain management customers, helps them stay close to their suppliers to ensure they are never out of stock. They can respond quickly in critical situations by identifying costly problems early and swiftly collaborating with partners to maintain healthy inventory levels. Dahlia first uses the AI-driven news module to keep a finger on the pulse of events that impact critical logistics, such as weather, workforce, or geopolitical disruptions. Today, she's presented with an article about a flood in Michigan. She sees this article has been tagged as an immediate risk, and her suppliers, Northwind Traders, Van Arsdal, and Best For You Organics Company, are affected. Dahlia selects Northwind Traders and clicks Contact Partner. She wants to confirm the impact on order dates and quantity, given the flooding in Michigan. She reviews an AI-generated email powered by Microsoft Dynamics 365 Copilot that already contains all the relevant information referencing the flooding and specific orders in question. She opens the draft directly in her email, sees that the right contact, Mauricio, has automatically been filled in, and sends it off. With Copilot, Dahlia is able to quickly handle this task in just a few clicks, facilitating a much faster mitigation process. Mauricio from Northwind Traders responds, "The order will be delivered from an alternative Northwind Traders location with a new ETA." With Copilot in Microsoft Supply Chain Center, Dahlia was able to act swiftly, detecting problems that could have major impact to her business and taking immediate action to mitigate the disruptions without ever leaving her workflow.
Okay, so that's one of our most exciting releases, and it's available to customers that have already deployed their trial of Supply Chain Center. If you have not done so, you can set up a trial and then get in the wait list to get access to Copilot, which should take only a couple of weeks at most. Another functionality that we added to our out-of-the-box capabilities is that now we allow users to be able to create new reports in the supply and demand insights and My Analytics modules, or to bring their existing Power BI reports into Supply Chain Center so that they have all the insights they need to make decisions in just one place. And this also allows them to spend less time switching between apps and without having to invest time on rebuilding those reports that they have already been using for a long time. And we also provide the ability to create your own custom KPIs. So you're able to take the data that has been ingested into Supply Chain Center, create your own KPIs and calculations, and set targets for those. And once a target has been met, either because it has reached the target or has gone below a certain threshold, you can make the configuration so that you receive an alert when that happens. So that will trigger an action for you to take. These are just a few of the things that we recently released. But what we briefly discussed today is that Supply Chain Center can help you connect your ecosystem, can help you bring data from your suppliers, from your systems, and from news outlets. It will allow you to better navigate disruptions by giving you early preview of what may happen, because there is a news that may impact your supply chain, or because the analytics are showing you that something is not going according to plan. It will allow you to be ready for anything so that you can respond to disruptions. Will allow you to automate repetitive tasks. And of course, will allow you to accelerate sustainability so that whatever you're implementing is going to allow you to maintain the expectations of your customers. But this is just a high overview of our product. So I invite you to go to the supply chain platform website, where you can learn more about the entire platform. And you can get started with your free trial of Supply Chain Center to understand more what this solution can do for your company. So with that said, and John, that's what I had for you today. So back to you.
Let me unmute myself. That was amazing, Juan Pablo. Really, really interesting. And the co-pilot, that's a game changer, isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, I see that this is where I think the OpenAI, the automatically generating the email, it had the order numbers there. It's just going to facilitate everybody's work. It's a real game changer.
It is. Customers that have tried it have given us amazing feedback. So I know there's going to be a lot of potential in Copilot.
Yeah, for sure. It's one of the most disruptive technologies at the moment, and I'm sure it's going to continue to surprise us and blow us away, and just make our work life so much easier, which I guess is what we all want, isn't it? We want to do more with less time, for sure.
Yeah, for sure. And we're seeing it in every Microsoft product now.
Absolutely. Fantastic. Over to you, Leah.
So thank you very much, guys. Thank you very much, Juan Pablo and John. Juan Pablo, I hope we will be able to see you one more time in some other webinars. Finally, thank you very much to all the people that attend to the webinar. If you have any questions, please do not hesitate to contact us through the email that you find on the Q&A side. If you would like to get to know more information about the webinars, please visit our website. There you will have more information. So thank you very much. Looking forward to see you again.
Okay. Thank you.
Bye, everyone. Take care.